I, 26M. Went out for drinks and food with my partner, 36M, last night with a friend. It was going well. We'd had drinks at home, and then journeyed onwards to the pub and so on and so on. The night was drawing to a bit of a close. My brother was chatting to a friend elsewhere. My partner and I were stood by the bar. We'd been picking up rounds between the three of us all night. I picked up the bill for dinner. My partner asked for a drink, and I said sure, just ask and I'll get it. We'd been drinking a fair amount, but nothing crazy. The bar was loud, etc. He got quite defensive suddenly, and asked why I wouldn't get him a drink. He was stood technically closer to the bar. He was on friendly terms with the barman, and I didn't personally want a drink. So I reiterated that he can get what he likes. I was happy to pay, he just needs to ask. He still couldn't grasp this and started getting weird. I knew then it was time to go home. I told him I was going to go, and he said he'd come with me. I explained he didn't have to, but we left together. We walked for ages to get a taxi in silence. Drove home in silence. By the time we got home, all he could say was that I was refusing to buy him a drink. Which is not true at all. I just said he could ask for one himself and I'll pay for it. He said that wasn't true. I said he wasn't listening to me as usual. I then planned on sleeping in the spare room away from him, but he kept coming into the room. He then made a retort which made me see red, though I can't actually know what he said. I slammed the door after he'd left, which was a dick move I know, but alcohol, mixed with not feeling listened to on top of whatever he said, felt like the only way to express emotion. That then made him see red, understandable. He wanted me to go back to my place, about a 20-minute taxi back the way we'd just come. I didn't say anything at all. He then left the room, and I slammed it again. Again, I know it was childish, but it happened. That made him very angry, again understandable. He came bursting in, shouting that I had to go home, and that I was acting like I was a child. At this point, I hadn't actually said a word to him apart from "you're not listening to me" and explaining that I didn't have a problem buying him a drink and he was misunderstanding. I then shouted at him that he wasn't listening to me, rather loudly. It's one of the extremely few times I've ever raised my voice like that. It even took me aback. And that was it, he wanted me out. I scrambled to find my keys, quickly packed 2 bags and left. In the morning, we exchanged curt texts. And then he came over and dumped a load of my stuff at my front door, including going so far as taking down the Christmas tree I'd put up at his place. To me, this is a big overreaction and is now blown completely out of proportion. He always takes long to come round after he argue, as he's not one to sit and talk about feelings. It's taken a long time to get him to sit down and chat. In the past we've gone days and days without talking, though this was a few years ago and it hasn't happened for some time now. This overreaction to me now looks very final. It's sending a message that he has no plans to spend Christmas with me and our family, and potentially cut things off. I admit that slamming doors was in poor taste, but in the grand scheme of things, is not that big of an issue once we talk and I get the opportunity to apologize. The argument was also two-way, but it feels very much like he's placing the onus on me here. Is he overreacting or am I underreacting here?